Hello guys, so welcome to day 20 of your Python programming tutorial. So today we're going to be doing something very interesting. Yeah, we've been doing interesting things, of course. But today it's going to be a bit more interesting and more or less like problem solving actually. So today we are going to be talking about file handling. How do we handle files? There are a lot of times whereby you write out your programs that do a lot of that collects a lot of data, a lot of information from users. All right, they are, aside from trying to create dictionaries or put them in lists, put them in all those things like that. There are some times whereby you need to have them saved somewhere right on your computer. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about. How you can work with files, how you can write to files, how you can read from files. So in Python. So um, so this is actually beyond just the use of dictionaries and lists, in the sense that when you finish running your program, the moment your program stops running and you want to run your program again, every information in that program that you just ran gets lost. So what do you do in order to save those informations? So that's what we want to treat here, relating to file handling. So how do you so for example, the type of file I would want to first of all introduce you guys to is a text file. So how do you read information from a text file, or how do you write your programs or details of your program in a text file? So the first thing is, how do you the first thing I want to introduce you guys to is what we call the open inbuilt function. So I'm just going to create an object for that, so it's represented this way, open, right? So the open function actually takes in two arguments: the name of the file that you're trying to open, that is if that file exists in the directory, you in the directory where this .py file, this your py file, where the script is. If that file is there, then it should be able to open it. All right, so let's say the name of the file is my name, okay, .txt. All right, so the next thing after that is the mode, right? Is the mode. Now the mode can come in various form. It could be you just want to read. So if you want to read, then you have to have the R there. Or if you want to write to the file, you need to use the W. So, and there are some other capabilities like the reading and the writing at the same time, but that's for another time. So let us just introduce you guys to the fundamental. All right, so since this is actually a class, it has to be assigned to an object called FOB. All right, so I have an object called FOB, and we have this. So now, I know I don't have this file there. So, but automatically when I run this, it's going to create this file where the script is. So wherever the script is, it's going to create a file called myname.txt so that I can write to it. So now, one thing I would love to introduce you guys to is, how do you write informations to file? Let's say I have the following information of, all right, let's say um, once I open this file, um, let's share this file. The next thing is I want it to ask for my name. So name, um, str, inputs, um, what is your name, right? So it's going to ask, this program is going to ask for my name, and it's going to save my details to this file called myname.txt. All right, so after asking for my name, it's going to convert it to a string. The next thing is to write to the file. So to write to the file, you call the object fob dot write. Do you get it? And then this your write function, it's actually a method in this class fob, which is open, right? So in this object fob, so it takes in strings. It takes in strings. So um, since name is actually a string, you can just say write the name. Do you get it? And then whenever you are trying to, whenever you are trying to do something like this and you are done with this, the next thing you need to do is to always close the file. You need to always close the file. And the reason being that whenever you open a file and you perform an operation, you need to close the file so that the operation can be sealed up. But if you do not close the file and you're trying to reopen, or you're trying to, or another script is trying to access that same file, there's going to be some form of conflict, and so you don't want that. So you just always want to ensure that you close your files whenever you are done um, programming like this. So what does this program do? This program, all what this program is just going to be doing is just to ask for my name. It's going to create a new file called name.txt, ask for my name, and it's going to save the information to name, and then write my details to my name.txt. Alright, so now how do we know that it has written our name.txt? So let us go ahead to create another object, fob2. Let us read the details from this file. So to do that, you say, you call the name of the file my name.txt um, read. Alright, so you cannot say um, okay, let's just call details is equals to fob2 dot fob2 dot read. Okay, yeah, fob2 dot read line. I'm going to be talking about read line. I'm going to be talking about the read. I'm also going to be talking about the what do you call it, the read lines. But let me just talk about the read for now. Let's start with the read. Then print your name from the text file is details. Alright, so now let's go ahead to run this file. Let's go ahead to run the script. So if you go ahead to run the script, you have that as your interface. Alright, so it's asking for my name, so I'm going to tell it that my name is Felix Bruno. So it says your name from the text file is Felix Bruno. So this actually means that our program actually did what we told it to do. So which is get the name, create a text file, create a text file, create a text file called name.txt, save, ask for my name, ask for my information, then save my details into this text file, and then close. Oh, I didn't close the program here. fob2, you have to always close your program. Okay, another thing I want to talk about before we call it a day is now the read statement. Yeah, the read actually takes the read here. When you don't pass in any arguments here, it will print out every information in that file. It's going to display to you. But now if you have um, if you want to read, let's say you just want to print out, you just want to read, just it's the argument here actually is, it signifies byte number. So if, for example, if I say, if I pass in 5, so I'm trying to say it should print out the first 5 bytes from the file. So if I run this program now, F5, you have this. So if I run this program F5 now, and I say my name is Felix Bruno Rachel. Okay, so it's going to say your name from the text file is Felix, whereas we have Felix Bruno Rachel in the file. So what actually happened is, since we passed in 5, it's going to start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to take the first 5 information from your file, and the first 5 information here is Felix, and that's the reason why we have Felix being printed out here. So do we get it? So if you don't pass in any argument, it's going to print out everything. But if you pass in just a single argument, it's going to print out it's going to take out, if you pass in just any number of bytes, that's the number of bytes it's going to print out for you. Alright, so another thing I want to talk about is the read line. Now the read line is actually a very interesting program. But in this case, let's just try and do something here. So let's just assume name is let's assume name is this is the unending backslash n name of the day of the day backslash n you will never forget backslash n. Now what does this backslash n means? It means that Python, when you start this program, when you start reading this program, when you start writing this program into my file, I want you to put this on the first line, then move to this backslash n means move to a new line. Then on the new line, I want you to put this on a new line. Then after that, move to a new line, then put this on the third line. Alright, so you just have something like okay, let me just have name plus equals to, this is the fourth line backslash n, this is the fifth line backslash n. Alright, so we can say, yeah. Alright, so now this is it's not gonna be asking for our name, so it's just gonna print out. So now let's just print details. So if I say read line, it's just, I expect it to just print this is the unending. So let's go ahead and run and then check. So it says this is the unending. Now why exactly did it do that? Right. So when you use the object dot read line, you're basically trying to say I want you to read the first line. So because all this fall on other lines, so it's just going to print out just this because this is on the first line. Okay, so if you say read lines, then that means you're trying to say you should print out all the lines. So I want you to take note of two things. One, when I show you the result of this thing now. So check it out. So it says this is the unending, next line, name of the day, next line, you will never forget, next line, this is the fourth, next line, that's the next line. Alright, so what did you take note here? You discovered that every information here for year, when we said read the line, it only printed the first line and returned it as a string. But now when we now said when we run read lines, it returned each of the information as a list on, that is a new line of each of them as a list, returned everything as a list. But this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3, this is line 4, this is line 5. So if you go into that same folder where you have the script and you check my name.txt, you will actually find, and if you open it, you actually find this information there arranged line by line. Alright, so that will be the tutorial for today. There are actually a lot of things you can check out, so to know more about file handling. So I would just advise that the material given to you guys today for you to look into, the chapter allocated for you to look into today, is what we should check. Just check it out so that you can have a full grasp of everything we've talked about here. Alright, stay safe. Bye.